question asked was, for meditation to progress, how we often give the talk and we often give the answer and two questions. We mentioned about the 5 faculties a meditator should develop for proper progress and one's meditational exercise. And these 5 are Sada, Sila, Sada, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya. Sada means faith. Then Viriya means effort or energy. Sati means mindfulness. Samadhi means concentration. And Panya means wisdom. So one should develop proportionately or properly these 5 faculties. So the question was, who asked was how to balance these 5 faculties for proper progress. So let us study about these balance of faculties. We often give one whole talk. But now, since the question arises, let us study because it is important also. For any type of meditation, be it samatha or vipassana, to achieve proper progress, you need to balance these 5 faculties. And out of these 5 faculties, the first one, Sada, or faith, and the last one, Panya, or wisdom, must be well balanced. And the second pair is Viriya. Paliva Viriya means effort or energy. And Samadhi or concentration must be well balanced. Whereas Sati or mindfulness is never an excess, no need to balance. It is always needed. That's why we often mention that our vipassana bhavana, our insight meditations, the main emphasis is mindfulness or sati. So sati need not be balanced with anything. It is always necessary to balance other faculties. So other faculties remaining are 4. Sada and Panya must be balanced, and Viriya and concentration or Samadhi must be balanced. The question was how to balance. Then to understand how to balance or to know how to balance, we must study more in detail. Now the first pair, Sada and Panya. Here Sada, Pariva Sada means faith. But as I often stress in every talk or in every answer, our Buddhist faith is not a blind faith. The faith born out of understanding. Please take mental note of it, not blind faith. It is faith. Sada, our Buddhist faith is Sada, that is born out of understanding. So you need to have understanding of what Dharma. So you must develop yourself of knowledge to accumulate and to verify what is right and what is wrong, what is wholesome and what is unwholesome, etc. So you must have theoretical knowledge, correct theoretical knowledge. Because if Sada is an excess, one tend to be misled or led astray by unscrupulous persons. When Sada is over without any intelligent wisdom or knowledge determine or consider oneself whether it is right or wrong, whether it is proper or not, then one can be led astray. There are many examples during Buddha's time in India. Some religious teachers and their followers, they stay in nude, not putting on their clothing, saying that they are shedding their lobha or greed by not wearing clothing. And many people believe in, they follow their teaching. So that shows how can it be? Because they don't use their common sense or logic or intelligence to understand. How can people who has got no modesty or shame to go on nude in the public are worthy of reverence, worthy of taking refuge? And this is the example of Sada is over and no wisdom to consider for the proper knowledge. So that is how anything in excess is detrimental to one's welfare. Another example is, you all are familiar with the Prince Ajata Satru, the son of the noble king Bimbisara. King Bimbisara was Sotapala, his son Ajata Satru. He was organized by Devadatta. Devadatta uses psychic powers to impress the young prince. And the young prince, being unable to understand the true nature of this Devadatta's intentions, he followed him and he killed his own father. And now he's in Avicii hell due to this patricide. So when Sada is strong with no basic or common knowledge or intelligence or wisdom to think properly, then one can be led astray with severe fatal or severe, very tragic consequences. And there are many examples of that, and this is quite enough for you all to understand the excess of sadhatu is not beneficial. And the opposite of panya. If panya is excess and sadha is low, then one can be cunning. Because of his intelligence, they make use of this intelligence for evil purposes. Or because they are influenced by mental defilements, they too are detrimental to society, to themselves and to the society. Like a person who has got some knowledge, I may say, you don't need to go and practice training yourself. Buddha said you just relax. And what Buddha does not say, the Buddha said. What Buddha does not give instruction, is the Buddha's instruction, and they let astray the ignorant persons. Some give false expectations of the psychic powers, and many people are led astray and confused. So being intelligent without sadhatu is detrimental to oneself as well as to the society. Some person said, don't do dana or generosity because dana will prolong samsara, they said. So for the first look, it seems quite reasonable what he said is. Because doing dana, you'll be reborn in pleasurable existences of human and deva world. Because that person does not have any sada to give his own or to offer or to conduct in generosity. He even discouraged other persons not to give, giving the reason that dana will prolong samsara. But it is actually very sarcastic criticism, not understanding the true nature of generosity. I have many times expressed, dana or generosity is that not the simple act of giving. It is the Nikama Parami. One is practicing Nikama Parami, renunciation, renouncing, or in common words, people used to say, letting go, letting go. Everybody crave or everybody endears one's own money and possessions. The fact that they can give away is the greatest renunciation, perfection, or paramitas. It is so noble, and they belittle that by saying the dana will prolong. If one can get nibbana in one instant, it's okay. Like when you go a long journey or any journey, you need provisions on the way. If you don't have any provisions, how can you survive? Or how can you have a proper destination? So giving false pretense, they used to discourage other people. This is the example of the wisdom of Panya with no or very little sada or faith. So how to balance these two factors? That is why we are giving these talks and interviews to our meditators according to our tradition. We give Dhamma talks and interviews to enlighten you all, to accumulate knowledge, to sharpen your wisdom, so that you can distinguish what is right, what is wrong, what is reasonable and what is not reasonable, what is logical and what is not logical. And in that way you can balance your faith and wisdom. Aside every morning Mangala Sutta there said, Kalayana Dhammasa Savana, meaning take time and opportunity to listen to talk, Dhamma talk, proper Dhamma talks and true Buddha's talk, Buddha's Dhamma. And here too you need to have a wise choice of the teachers and the talks and the books also. Not all Dhamma books are proper, not all Dhamma talks are proper. So you must be able to distinguish, so you must sharpen your wisdom or accumulate the knowledge. Kalena Dhamma Savana, take time and opportunity to listen to Saddhamma, true teaching of the Buddha. True teaching of Buddha is called Saddhamma. And Kalena Dhamma Sagacha, to take time and opportunity to discuss Dhamma, meaning if you are doubtful, if you are ignorant or oblivious of anything, please ask, so that you can clear the doubt and you can sharpen the wisdom and intelligence. So that's how you can balance faith or sada and panya or wisdom.
Panya 还有 sada 信心。
So the next pair of viriya or effort and samadhi or panya. Why do they need to be balanced? Increase viriya or excess viriya or effort or energy, one tends to become restless in meditation. The mind becomes restless. And increase or over concentration, one would tend to become influenced by sloth and toba. Tina and Metta, Paliwa, Tina and Metta. And excess of viriya or effort or energy, Oteja, Kokoja, Paliwa, means restlessness and flurry. So that's why these two faculties need to be balanced. So please remember, over the sign of over viriya or effort or energy is restlessness of the mind, characterized or manifested by wandering mind. While sitting, noting, you cannot focus on your primary object. The mind is always wandering off, thinking that, thinking this, and always that we call wandering mind. So this is the excess of virya, of photo energy. And when the mind, when one is over-concentrated, then sloth and torpor sets and mind become indolent and move over like boring, sleepiness, and action will set in. Now, how to balance these two? We normally take full bodily postures in our life to make ourselves comfortable. Sitting, standing, walking, and lying down. Four bodily postures. Out of these four bodily postures, sitting and lying down position is conducive to develop concentration, whereas standing and walking is conducive to generate energy. So that's how you can balance by understanding this nature. For balance of these faculties, our routine is programmed 1 hour sitting and 1 hour walking. Sitting and walking including standing. At the end of the path, you all are instructed to look for some time standing meditation. So, to balance these two faculties, we give equal sections of 1 hour each, 1 hour sitting section, 1 hour walking and standing section. So when the signs of imbalance arise, like just now I have explained to you, when too much wandering mind and restless mind, due to more sitting, more than 1 hour if possible, and more detailed noting. Like normally we give 2 noting only like rising and falling. If it is wandering mind is too much, making the mind to be occupied, you can know 4 objects, rising, falling, and between you can add in sitting and touch. So more detailed noting and longer sitting will develop concentration. So when there is restless mind, it is the sign of over-virya. So to balance, you must develop more concentration by sitting session more and noting objects more detail. On the other hand, if there are signs of over-concentration like sloth and torpor, as you all know, is sleepiness, drowsiness, and mind become indolent. You feel boring, not wanting to note anything, or not wanting to observe anything. So in that case, then you must increase virya, that is effort or energy. Increasing virya, effort or energy means you do more walking and standing. As just now I have explained, walking and standing is conducive to generate energy. So instead of 1 hour each, you walk like 1 hour and 15 minutes or 1.5 hours, or if possible even 2 hours for walking and standing. And also your object of noting should be less, because if it is too many objects to see, and if you have to walk too slow, then you'll be more slow than torpor will overwhelm you. So in that case, it's better to do 1 phase noting and 2 phase noting. We have given instruction to do 3 phases in walking section. Like right step, left step, that is 1 noting, we call 1 phase noting. Then lifting, putting is 2 phase noting, then lifting, moving and putting down it. So when sloth and torpor is overwhelming the mind, one should not do the 3 phases. Only after later when enough energy to watch you can do. But at the beginning beginning, it's better to start with one or two, the most two pieces of noting. One faculty, sati or mindfulness. It is never an excess, always needed. Buddha, in most discourses, he always asks to make strenuous effort to be mindful. Because mindfulness supports the other four faculties to be balanced. So in Mahasatipatthana Sutta, he said, Atapi Sambhajano Satima. Satima means to be mindful. For how mindful? Atapi, he said, ardently, make ardent effort, strenuous effort to be mindful. For what? Sambhajano. To know or to see your object with all understanding and penetration. Atapi Sambhajano Satima. So that shows that mindfulness or sati is never excess. It is always needed. The more or the stronger or the more mindful, the better. No need to balance with any other faculty.